Hey guys, Thrasher here. We have a new app update, new content, and some new banners. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so just like normal, we're going to go to menu and then we're going to go to news. We'll work our way up. We'll deal with the banners last. So we'll be skipping those, but let's go all the way down here. First thing is we have the 20 million user celebration. Big thanks login bonus now. So essentially what they're telling us is we're going to be getting this ticket right here. We're going to get 20 of these tickets, and it's telling us that there's 3 different summons we can use it on. We can use it on the Masters Pack Sparking 30% chance ticket summon, the Masters Pack 2 Sparking 30% chance ticket summon, and then you can also use it on the Goku Everyday summon. Now, I highly recommend you only use it on the Goku Everyday because the other 2 are garbage, in comparison at least, because you're going to get a guaranteed sparking if you do the Goku Everyday. So let's go down through here. It's going to tell us everything that we're going to get. You're going to get 1 of these tickets every single day for 20 days, and then I believe all the way down here, it shows the Goku Everyday banner, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but you're going to get a bunch of Chrono Crystals, you're going to get skip tickets, you're going to get energy tickets, you'll get some silver bells, so a little bit of everything there. The key though is I would only use these tickets on the Goku Everyday. Let's back out and talk about the next thing, which if we scroll back down here is the fact that Legends Road is back. So if you need to do more Legends Road for Goku Youth, make sure to get in there and do that. And keep in mind that this event is back, and if you've cleared it before, you're pretty much good, but you do need to do it more because they've added more Z power so that you can increase the limit break of your Goku, and they've added skip tickets and energy tickets, so you'll want to get those as well. And if you never got the power pole or things of that nature that you want to grab, those are still there, but there's nothing crazy new. They just have more energy tickets and more skip tickets that you're going to want to get. So then let's go to the cell games. Let's open this up. So I've done a few of these so far. Essentially, it's very similar to the Broly thing. There's 50 battle stages. Once you complete all 50 of them, you're going to get 1,000 Chrono Crystals. Every single stage, you're going to have a different opponent. They're going to get stronger each time, and they're going to be a different color. So make sure you have lots of characters of all the different color types so that you can roll through this. I've only done, I want to say 8 or 9 levels so far, as this hasn't been out for very long, only a couple hours this morning, and I was trying to look at everything else. But I'm pretty sure it's just going to keep getting harder and harder. So down here it tells us what we get, 1,000 Chrono Crystals, and then by the time you've completed everything, here's everything else that you're going to get. So I'm not going to list all that off. The one thing I will point out is this Truth of the Survival Game equipment right here. So I think if we scroll down a little further, and then it's going to show you the attack bonus characters as you get to the harder opponents. This is awesome. So as I talked about in a previous video, Beerus is just not good, and there's quite a few different reasons that he's not good. One, he needs slightly better stats. His stats are subpar. He doesn't have any mechanics that make him amazing in any way, and he has essentially no equipment. Well, now he finally has equipment. This is the first unique rarity equipment in the game, and the stats look absolutely amazing on it. So if you can get a good roll on this, he's now viable on a God Key team. So you run him with the Goku and the God Jita, and you should be good to go there. This seems like it's going to take him to the point of at least viability, and it also seems like they understand that he's garbage, and they've sort of been building towards this. So hopefully there's more of this to come, and the Beerus becomes a truly powerful unit over the next few weeks or months. We'll see what happens there. And then down here there's a few other equipment items. So this Bois is for regeneration and melee type. That's something else to note, is this is, I think, the first or second time that we've really had an equipment condition where it's for a specific type rather than a color or a tag. It's melee type, defensive type, support type, that kind of thing. Now, as far as the rolls here and the stats, it's an okay item. 15% to blast defense, 12.5 to special move and ultimate damage, and then 21.5 to strike attack. That's a reasonable roll to strike attack. They could have done a little better with the blast defense stat that they put there. And then the special move damage is decent. So again, depending on the character you're putting this on, it can be pretty good. It's not the best equipment in the game, but it's pretty reasonably good. And then this one down here, in my opinion, not amazing. It's for Hybrid Saiyans, and you can either get strike defense or blast defense up to 18%. 18% is a reasonably good roll, but I would prefer if rather than doing these defensive stats, they just straight up give health. Now, they do give health down here. I think they could split that out, and then they could do damage to regeneration as its own thing and increase that, or make it damage to regeneration there and then some other stat. So it's very situational, the bottom stat, assuming you don't get health, but I would say in that case you probably want to get the health. And then the top stat can be okay if it's strike defense, it's slightly subpar if it's blast defense, and then the middle is okay. So I would say this is a middle of the road equipment item, definitely not amazing, but also not terrible. So that's pretty much it for this event. Let's go ahead and back out of here. I don't know if I said there's 50 stages or not. There's 50. Okay, so let's back up. And then we're going to scroll down here, and we are going to talk about the actual Goku Everyday Summon. So this summon, I'm not going to rate it. We're just going to talk about it right here. Essentially what they're saying is you're going to get 20 tickets. You can do this up to 20 times. Now, at the very least, you want to use 7 of those tickets because it's going to give you 3 guaranteed sparking units. And as you'll notice here, some of the times it's going to give you up to 3 summons with that single ticket. So at the very minimum, use 7 of those tickets on this. And then if you want to use it as a 30% sparking chance in Masters Pack 1 or 2, you can, but at least go through the first 7 here so you get your guaranteed sparkings, and then you can switch to the one that you want. And then we scroll down here and it tells us that you can also use it as a 30% chance to get a sparking on Masters Pack 1 or Masters Pack 2. Like I said, so that's pretty much the plan there. It really depends on what you're going for. Definitely use the first 7 on the Goku Everyday summon, and then go to whatever you need. You can stay with Goku Everyday, you can switch to the other ones, because there are some very good Gokus in this banner. So let's go ahead and back out. And then the next thing that we want to talk about is this right here, the Big Thanks campaign. So this is kind of all-encompassing of everything that we've looked at so far, so I'm just kind of skim through them real fast. They're celebrating that we have 20 million users now, so there's 7 different campaigns. The first campaign is the Goku Everyday that we pretty much talked about. It's going to give you those tickets. The second one are the login bonuses, the Big Thanks login bonuses that we looked at just a minute ago. And then the third one is complete the Big Thanks missions and receive amazing rewards. So there's all kinds of missions. You can just go into the missions tab and look at them, and it's going to give you an extra 9 Goku Everyday tickets. It's going to give you 900 Chrono Crystals, a bunch of 5 energy tickets, and then 60 more skip tickets. So it's very, very useful to do that. Make sure you get it done. You're going to want those Chrono Crystals for something we're going to point out here a little bit later on in the video. So let's go ahead and scroll down, and then we have the Legends Step Up. Now, what I stated in the earlier video is that you can only get the Gohan, the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, from the ticket. So this Step Up banner will not get you the Gohan itself. It'll get you the tickets that give you a chance to get the Gohan. Now, with that being said, I'm going to review the banner and go over more of how much you should spend, when you should spend, things of that nature. So we'll skip that for right now. And then they're showing the Gohan off here. I'll tell you right now, he's crazy powerful. And then scroll down through here, and then the Cell games, we've already talked about that. Nothing crazy we have to mention there. The Legends Road event, make sure to go in and get your skip tickets and your Z Power for the Youth Goku, so that way you can get him as limit broken as possible. And then the 7th one is experience and Zenny boost in the main stories and events. So you're going to get 2 times experience in main stories, events, and training. It's half training time, just like it was a few weeks ago. And then you're going to get 2 times Zenny in the event stories, and you get 5 times Zenny in the main story. The reason they do that is because obviously the Super Zenny event is in the event story, and if they did 5 times there, it would be absolutely insane. And then adventures are half time as well. So then let's back out of here, and then there's just a couple things left. So we've got some sales, whatever. If you want to spend money, go check them out. They're there. We've got a banner here and a banner here that we're going to skip, and then we're going to talk about part 3 and the Battle Royale real quick. So part 3, essentially, we just have a new book in part 3. It's in normal mode, and then they adjusted some character voices. I haven't really listened to them to see what they did there, but we do have a new part to the story if you want to check that out. And then let's talk about the Battle Royale itself. It's ended. They're going through all the stats of the Battle Royale. They're validating everything, making sure everything's good, and then very soon you will be getting your Chrono Crystals for however many wins you got. I'm not going to go crazy into what happened to me on the Battle Royale. Most of my matches were on the last day. There are some issues with the Battle Royale, and I'll have a full video on this maybe in the next day or two. I ended up going 12-6, so I think I was like 11-3, and there were some issues. We'll talk about it. But I went 12-6 overall, just so you know, and then I'll have a full video explaining what happened. I'm not really happy with that outcome. There were also some, we'll call them cheaters. They were definitely cheaters. I feel like I should have gone maybe 15-3, maybe 14-4. One of them was kind of close. So once they validate all this, you will be getting your Chrono Crystals, hopefully, and I'm trying not to sound too bitter about it. Anyway, you will be getting all your crystals, and it should happen pretty soon. I would assume in the next 48 hours or so. And let's back out of here. And then the last thing that we need to talk about are all of these summon banners. So let's go ahead and back out of here, and we will go to summon. And here's one thing I want to know. I am going to pull on this banner before I tell you what the ratings are and all that. I will be pulling on this. It's not going to be in this video because this video is already long enough. So look for my summoning video maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, probably later today because I will be summoning once I end this video. But let's start down here. Here's the first new banner. It's Legends Yellow. Here are the featured characters. They're good. Like this right here is a reasonably good unit. He's not absolute top tier, but he's pretty close. He's a mid-high. He is like a mid-tier unit. He is a mid-tier unit, and then the Pikkon is still good, still reasonably good, and then the Kid Gohan is not good. And then there's a few more extreme characters. Doesn't matter. Here's the thing. There's another banner that is much better than this one that just came out that you're going to want to spend your Chrono Crystals on. There are no discounts to this. This is a 1-star banner, absolutely a trap banner. Don't do it. Now, let's talk about this guy right here. Here's the thing. We've got a Z-Power list that we're going to show what the chances are of pulling each on this banner itself is. So you've got a 1% chance to pull Cell. That's completely normal. You got a 1% chance to pull Lord Slug. That's completely normal. Those are both very good units. The Cell is probably top tier, and the Lord Slug is probably top tier. I would say the Lord Slug might actually be a little bit better than the Cell. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm going to need a couple days of seeing them actually in practice, but it seems like he's sneakily better than Cell. We'll have to see. Cell definitely has a higher damage output in general, though. Now, with that being said, there's a bunch of other characters here, right? So, essentially, there's only 2 characters that there's a good chance of pulling, but because of the discounts and because of the guaranteed tickets that are going to come from this, it is absolutely worth pulling on. So for 4,100 crystals, you're going to get 58 units, and you're guaranteed at least 2 sparking units. You'll probably pull more than that. You'll probably pull somewhere around, including those sparking tickets, you'll probably pull somewhere around 5 to 7 units for 4,100 crystals. That's an amazing deal. Now, the chances of you actually pulling either of these 2 units or the Gohan once you use the tickets themselves are 3 in 5 or 60%. So if you spend a full 4,100 and you have 2 of those tickets, there's a very good chance you're going to pull one of those new 3 units. So here's what I would say. Spend up to 1 full cycle if you have the crystals for it. So however many crystals you have, feel free to spend up to 4,100. That's what it costs for a full cycle. Once you get to that point, make sure that you can spend in full cycles. So once you've already done 4,100, the only way I would spend more on this is if you have another 4,100 to do another full cycle. And that's because the discounts and the value in this comes from doing the full cycle, not from just doing the first few. Now, there is a little bit of a discount on doing the first couple, or even getting through step 4, maybe step 5, which gets you through step 6, but getting all the way through there is where the value really comes from. So spend all the way up to 4,100, whatever you have, and then after that, you want to do 4,100, then you need to spend 8,200, then you need to spend 12,300, then if you are crazy and you keep going, I might spend that much, we'll see. You spend 16,400. You want to spend in full cycles after that first cycle. And that's really all there is to it. I would call this a 4-star Dragon Ball banner because all 3 of those new units are top tier units. They're very powerful. They're going to make multiple different teams very strong. And I'm praying that I don't have to spend 16,000 crystals to get the Gohan. That's pretty much all I have for this video. Let me know what you guys are most hyped about out of everything that we just went through. I'd like to hear your comments. Maybe it's the Cell event. Maybe it's the new characters. Maybe it's the Gohan like me. Maybe it's the fact that there's a new rarity type to equipment. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.